because it's like, oh, it's very good. Well, listen, Lori Shore is here, and Lori Shore brings something pretty good to our tables too, and this is something that's been a tradition for so many of you who've been shopping with QVC for, gosh, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
These are the Mrs. Prindables apples, and this is the big assortment for holiday 2014. You have your choice of either 10 or 20 apples with this offering, and you really took inspiration from a favorite decadent candy, Lori, to create these turtle apples.
I love that. Yeah, exactly. So we have the most amazing confectioners at Mrs. Prindables, and they have made these chocolate turtles for years. They've perfected them. But for the first time ever, and this is what they are if you're not familiar, I mean, aren't they just incredible? Caramel, chocolate, and roasted pecans.
Yum.
First time ever, only on QVC, we've put all that great flavor on apples, brand new, all turtle assortment. Now, let me give you an idea of what you've got here. Like Jill said, you have a choice of 10 or 20. If you pick the 20 apple assortment, biggest assortment of the entire year. This is also an assortment that has the most nuts of any assortment we've brought in years and years. So if you love nuts with your chocolate and your caramel, this is the one for you. Let me break down the flavors. It's really simple. Sometimes the simplest ideas are the best. If you pick the 10, half or 5 of the apples are done in milk chocolate chips with the roasted premium pecans and our homemade buttery caramel. The other half or the other 5 are done in the dark chocolate. And again, the same concept if you pick the 20, half and half, milk chocolate and dark chocolate, all individually wrapped.
But it all starts with a really good, yummy, fresh, crisp apple. And that's really what's at the core of Mrs. Prindables. You've got to have that crispness, that juiciness, that flavor. And then you dip it in the homemade caramel that's made in the small batches of copper pots. And then you go ahead and you cover it in all of these pecans, which you haven't had in an apple assortment in a really long time. Funny enough.
Funny
you know?
enough.
Yeah.
Think, first time ever we've had pecans on the individual size that you see right here. So this is what we're talking about. I wish you could bite into it, but at least when you see the way I pull it apart, the consistency of that homemade caramel, I'm going to slice into some for you because
yes, please do.
You like nuts
I haven't
like
had a chance to try these yet, and I'm excited because I mean I love Mrs. Prindables and always have. But what I also love is that they're always coming up with new things.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love? If you do love nuts and you love pecans, who doesn't love a caramel chocolate turtle?
Don't you
I mean,
know
those
it?
are some of the most decadent, delicious, sought-after candies. You're always in the search for the next best one, and now it's on top of your apple.
I picked the milk chocolate one. Remember, half and half are milk chocolate, half are dark chocolate. Seriously?
Good.
I mean, and then when you, each element.
Classic.
Yeah, classic. And isn't it true, you know, we come up with all these unique and different ideas, brand new flavor right here, and yet it's just this tried and true, something that we've loved for generations.
And I love it if you've never tried Mrs. Prindables before, and this is a great flavor profile to try. Again, keeping in mind, every apple in this assortment has nuts, so if you're somebody like, if your kids don't like nuts, go onto QVC.com, find the other assortments. But because each of these becomes individually wrapped, they're great for gift giving. You give this and a gift card. You give this and a thank you note. You leave these at every place setting around your table. You have a huge basket of them by the front door and everybody takes one as they leave. You're in a pinch and you need to hurry up and figure out what's one more thing I can put out for dessert. I have the pie, I have the cake, I feel like I need one more thing. Oh,
this is it.
Cut up a few Mrs. Prindables apples and let everybody walk by and take a little taste.
This is one.
Yes.
So just picking up on if you're giving these as individual gifts, that's what that coworker who's really made a difference for you this past year is again going to get to enjoy with that coffee break. That's what that neighbor that you appreciate so much is going to get to enjoy, you know, where they put their feet up at home and relax. We took, when you mentioned serving, we took 5 of these. So if you pick even the smallest option, the 10, this is just half of the apples cut up.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that crazy? And we do about 10 wedges per apple. So, you know, with 10, it's 100 cut up if you do it all. So you can have maybe 5 place settings if you want as place markers with the names on it, and then you can serve the rest.
Remember too, because we're giving you the option of either 10 or 20 apples, there's a little bit of a buy more and save. So, you know, if you're normally buying 10 apples for $40, which is still $4 an apple, remember these are shipped to your door, your shipping and handling is included, so really nice value. You would think that double the amount would be double the price, but it's not. Instead, your set of 20 apples is now not $4 an apple, it works out to be $3 an apple.
Isn't that crazy?
So, you know, buying that larger assortment so that you can keep some and you can give it away is a really nice proposition. Now, the only thing you need to choose then is when you want these sent to you. We can send them out right away. I mean, a lot of you might want to, you know, have these for your Halloween party or just to have, because once they're at home in your house in the fridge, they'll keep for several weeks.
Exactly. So put them in the fridge, store them longer there. I mean, that's the best place to store them. Bring them out about 45 minutes, an hour before before you plan to eat them because you want the toppings to be super room temperature
Yes.
and creamy good.
You don't want to try to cut through or bite through the hard caramel. You want to make sure that it's come to room temperature. November 10th is our ship week in anticipation of Thanksgiving.
Nice, yeah.
December 15th is our ship week in anticipation of Christmas, and we did that December 15th date so that you can have them not only leading up to Christmas, but if you have some left over, you can still be enjoying them through the new year. Because sometimes you see people after Christmas,
Exactly.
and you'd still like to take something to a party.
No red and green sprinkles here. We do that and we have fun with them, but this is truly timeless.
Terrific.
Let me also mention too, as you hear the crispness of the apple, and if you've tried Mrs. Prindables, you know they're crunchy and juicy. Because we do not dunk these apples, we don't make them until the day they're shipped. Between now and then, we're going to be, scouring the country for the freshest, crunchiest apples we can find. In this case here, during this presentation, that was Granny Smith. Come your shipment date, it might be a different variety. It might be Empire, it might be something else. But we want to get always that tangy, sweet balance to counteract the toppings. You'll just know they're going to be the best we can get our hands on.
Delicious. And I think it is really important to say, these are really, artisanally made apples.
Hand
Small
applied.
batches,
Yeah.
hand applied. Done the way, if you were deciding, okay, kids, let's make caramel apples together, you would be dunking them, you would be rolling them, you would be pressing those ingredients all over. Over 500 have been ordered. We're busy on the phones. If you haven't seen this this offer, I have to let you know the shipment that can ship out right away is actually really, really popular in the 10 count.
It's a great time.
I hear ya. You can't wait till November or December. You want to try these now. So stay on the line. M46087 is your item number, and that